there's a reason why I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to date. I used to love dating. It's not just because of what I see out there, the lack of opportunities for me. I don't put myself in any type of position to have opportunities that much either. So it's just, I go to work and I go home. I go to work and go home. Why do I do this? Because I know those lockdowns had an effect on people. I know forced 2021 stuff by the government had an effect on people with their psychology. And this is why I've distanced myself from people. I understand that high inflation has had an effect on people. So when you lock down and pay people not to work, they're going to become entitled. They're going to want communism or socialism. They're going to end up being lazy because they just developed the bad habit of not having to work. Especially if they went a whole year and a half without working. It's made me want to distance myself from people. Given all these stores being shut down in these places like Portland or Chicago or San Francisco because of high crime or theft, and crime is pretty high right now, and I just want to avoid all that crap. I think that if Trump was still president, I don't think crime would be so high. I really don't. Even though, like, Portland, he didn't really do too much about Portland, but I just think that he would be putting people in place to be tough on crime, and that's what needs to happen. Now I hear these leftists say, "Oh, the murder rate is high in red states. It's higher in red states than it is in blue states. But if you take out the blue cities run by Democrats in red states, it's not going to be as high. Just because of the Democrat-run areas." There's a common theme with Democrat-run areas that these people keep voting for is high crime. And yeah, when you have a bunch of people in one spot, you're probably going to have a little bit more tension, less of recognizing people. You're not going to see the same person hardly at all, ever, unless you go to the same place all the time, like a gym or something like that, at the exact same time. But, you know, we have all these places being looted. Like, I see videos of Chicago, of San Francisco, people just going in there and looting, and then the same people who are doing all this are going to wonder why there's no stores now. They're going to wonder why the stores shut down. Well, the number one, the employees, their safety, and that's why Whole Foods shut down, is because their safety of the employees. These people who are going on these mob theft sprees aren't thinking about the future of that region. They're only thinking about right now, and they're going to perpetuate food deserts. I think the psychology of people are messed up right now. It's a multiple factor of why people are messed up. Why you have so much of the youth trying to identify as something that they're not biologically. The broken home, the lack of a good father figure in the life, the lack of stability. This plays huge roles, man. Huge. This is critical in a kid's life. And you see kids not growing up. It's taking them longer to grow up and take on responsibility for themselves. I was one of them. I know. I wasn't fully responsible for all my bills until I was probably 27, honestly. And I pushed my kids to try to be responsible as quick as possible. Because those people that you rely on, that income could be gone anytime. I don't trust the government, man. I don't trust the stability of the government. If I had the resources, right now, I would just completely isolate myself from the world. Unfortunately, I have to keep working to keep up to survive, and I rely on the system, which is not good. You want to try to not rely on the system as much as possible. People don't think long term at all. They just think about right now. And you got to have fun right now. You got to enjoy life now, because there's no guarantee for tomorrow, but you still have to prepare for tomorrow. I could die right now. I could get hit, boom, start flipping, catch on fire, get stuck, I can't get my seatbelt off, and get burnt up heading into work. It's just messed up, man. It's just people don't have a sense of purpose. There's no uniting us anymore. We're not gonna unite. The left and right are not gonna unite. It'll have to take some severe economic troubles for people to unite. I think it would take a depression, something like that. Civil war, possibly a few years after a civil war, people could unite. It's just weird how people are, and a lot of people just carrying on like everything's okay. And I'm just sitting here just watching the decay of our society. And it's not even a slow decay anymore, because I've always known since I was a little kid, probably because seeing my own family break up at age 3, I didn't know back then the decay of society, but going to school, getting older, didn't understand it. I was a very angry young man. Age 7, destroying my room, telling my mom I hated her, telling her I wanted to die. I think I probably told her I want her to die. And why is that? A broken home is huge in a kid's life, man. Huge. And that's the normal now here in America. And it's sad. It's really sad. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the. I've been seeing America just. It was slow, real slow decay. But it seems like it's being. It's happening more quicker and quicker nowadays. And that's the only way that you can bring America to its knees at this point, is for us to destroy ourselves. And I just don't see anything that's gonna stop this. Because I mean, you see what the government's doing, how it's becoming more authoritarian. You see the left and the right fight each other. There's no common ground. With the left you can't have any type of negotiations. They will not negotiate on anything. And a lot of these people's stance on different things is changing all the time. So I can't relate with somebody who's going to be like, because like when I was pro-choice, and I am to a certain point. I mean, I think that, rape or incest or something like that, it should be done quickly, whatever it takes. Or if the mom's life is threatened through pregnancy, you want to try to do what you can to save both of them, but the mom's life comes first. But you see the radical left is talking about up all the way up to 9 months, and or even 28 days after the child's been born. Then it's just like, where do you stop? You could have a 6-year-old and be like, I'm just tired of this kid. Let's just euthanize the kid. And this is why I can't get on board with the left. They will not negotiate. And in fact, anything that the right comes out with, they want to go automatically against it, even if it cuts their own nose off, despite their face, just to go against the right. And they act like they're the rebels. They're not the rebels. I was like a punk rocker nerd, like weird goth, not really goth, but metal type of grunge person, man. I was completely against the government. I was highly ignorant about things, and I can say the same thing now. I'm ignorant about things. I don't know everything, but I definitely was a rebel, and I was for free speech. The left were for free speech. Now they're not. To see how they're pro-war with Ukraine, it just baffles me. It's like we have so much problems here. The left talks about all the problems here, gun violence and this and that, which is a huge thing. And they act like, here's the thing is these people act like I'm responsible for kids that are shot because I want to have my right to bear arms. Yeah, I'm coming up with the idea that the Democrats or people on the left are the ones committing most of the crime. People on the right are usually, I'm not going to say all, but people on the right are usually responsible gun owners that just go to work and take care of their family. The people on the left are the ones that commit all the crime. And like I said, there's people on the right that commit crime too, but it just seems like the majority comes from these people, these toxic people. And then they want to act like they're like have some type of moral high ground. Oh, you're uneducated. Like, they say this all the time. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because I was smart enough not to go to college and rack up a bunch of student loan debt. You know, you're huddy. What do you mean, bow down to you? Like, cool, man, you can memorize stuff. Good for you. Good for you. My intelligence isn't limited to one thing. Like, I have a big variety of different things I'm interested in, whether it comes to hobbies or whatever. And I understand I don't know everything. I have to rely on other people. Because I'm ignorant. Like, I'm supposed to have a take on everything. Like, people have a take on everything, but it's like, you don't know the details of everything. You don't know the innards of a lot of things, and these people act like just because they might have a college degree, they're so much smarter and they know so much better than me. And it's just absurd. The funny thing is, these people going to college, these white collar workers are going to college for like computer stuff. Like, you're probably gonna be obsolete. You just wasted your time. AI is becoming more and more sophisticated. Like, Google's probably gonna be replaced by ChatGPT. The AI is just getting so sophisticated. You're not gonna need people to do the work because people take a long time and they make mistakes. The AI is going to be so efficient, and there's going to be so many of them that it doesn't make any sense to have a horse plow the field when you got a tractor that can plow the field. It doesn't make any sense to be in horse and buggy when you have a sports car that can get you, or fly a plane. Like, take a ship, take you a couple of months to get across the ocean, and then you got a plane that'll take you, half a day or whatever. These people like wasting their time. And the thing is, you don't have to memorize anything anymore either. I have everything on my phone. I can just access it right now. You used to have to memorize things, and the more knowledge you have, which you can have a lot of knowledge now, but like, you don't have to. You know how much, like, for me, I got a short-term memory, so I forget stuff, man, all the time. And that's why I'd be a horrible debater, but I can just pop up my phone and boom, right there. Just search right there, right then and there. So quick. But yeah, it's I don't know. I got to get to work, but I'm dropping another single. It's got 2 songs on it. The single is called Cole. And then I got another song on top of that called The Pumpkin Pie Saga. Not that I knew I was going to listen to it, but I just figured I'd put it out there. So yeah, y'all take it easy and try to. I think it's important for people to keep their head down right now to see how things pan out. Seems like there's a lot of unrest, a lot of anger. A lot of anger at me because of my skin color too. I don't quite get that. Like, I wasn't born in the 1800s. I wasn't born in the 1940s. I can understand somebody that lived back then who hates all white people because of what they've been through, because they lived back then, but I can't understand somebody that's been born any time recently, especially like around my time and after, should hate me because of the color of my skin, like I had anything to do with anything. But it seems like we're continuing to going down that path here in America, and it makes me wonder if I even want to live here long term, since I'm hated so much and I work so hard to keep this infrastructure going. Why would I want to? I could just take my hard working ethic and go somewhere else where people actually love me and ain't gonna hate me because of my skin color. And I'm not trying to be a victim or nothing. I get to see the trajectory where things are headed. And it's not an environment that I don't think I really want to live in. I think it was wrong when people of a different color were treated like crap back in the day. I don't think anyone should be treated, and I don't think that reversing that, kind of like South Africa, which theirs is a little bit different. We've actually had some time to try to heal from all that. They just kind of like, they kind of flipped that overnight. So then you can see like why people do the things that they do over there, like why the resentment. But there shouldn't be as much resentment as there is right now. But there's a lot of racial tension for whatever reason. I remember in the 90s there wasn't as much racial tension, but I don't know. Just kind of weird. I don't want to play a victim or nothing like that, but I definitely don't want to be somewhere where nobody fucking respects me or wants me to be around, you know what I mean? So, especially like when I'm doing the right things. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I'm pretty much straight edge, and I go to work and I take care of myself. I pay my bills, I pay my taxes, I'm responsible, so like I don't hurt nobody, I don't steal from anybody. I'm a productive member of society, and I've raised both of my kids to be productive members of society. So it doesn't make any sense for someone to hate me for no fucking reason. And if I did something wrong to them, I would understand, but I don't know, I gotta get to work.